Welcome back, you guys. Today, I guess you can call it my last episode, maybe. Um, I'll be honest with you guys. My life is pretty much ruined. It's been messed up for years now since the accident. I've been really depressed, and that's one of the reasons why I've been trying to get a job and doing all those things on those videos that you've seen. And I'm just tired. I've been tired for a while now. I'm not happy with my life. I woke up this morning crying, wondering why I'm even still here. And it's been making me I've been thinking about it for a very long time now, about just killing myself because I have nothing. My car isn't working. The girl that I'm married to doesn't want me. And we said a lot of messed up things to each other. And what's crazy is that I got all this memory from how happy I used to be about my father. My father was one of the people that I idolized when I was growing up, because he was always teaching me something, always trying to be there for me, always trying to spend time with me. I used to live in Connecticut, Meriden, Connecticut, when I was from the age of 3 to basically 11. And then I moved to Florida with my family because my father slipped on some ice because it snows in Connecticut. So he slipped on some ice and broke his leg in 3 places. So he had to have a metal bolt put into his leg. And anytime it rained or snowed, it would make him be in pain because the bolt in his leg would bother him. So he decided that we should just move to Florida since he knew that it wasn't going to snow here. So we moved here, and this was back when I was like 12. And he was spending time with me. We were hanging out. We would play. He had bought me a PlayStation, the first one, a PlayStation 1, when I was, for a birthday party, a birthday that I had when I was like, I think like 11. And me and him used to play with each other. He loved Bruce Lee. That's the reason why my name is Lee, because he wanted to name me Bruce Lee, but my mom just wasn't having it. She said we should just name him leevelez, so that's why my name is leevelez. But in the game that me and him used to play against each other, it was called Tekken 3, and on that game for the PlayStation, they have this character named Law that dressed up like Bruce Lee. He had a yellow suit that was basically like the one from, I think it was like Enter the Dragon. I'm not exactly sure, but he loved playing that game with me. Me and him used to compete with each other. So I was in middle school at the time, and every time I would go to school, I'll be like, "All right, Dad, I'm gonna head to school. I'll be back." So then, while he's sitting in my room, turn on the PlayStation. He's like, "All right, well, when you get back, I'm gonna beat you." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll see." So like he would be training himself, playing the game, trying to see if he can beat me in the game. So after a year of me being moved from Connecticut down to Florida, my father had heart conditions and diabetes, and he was a really mobile. Like, he would go to the gym a lot, try to work out and things like that, try to keep himself in shape. But one day, a doctor prescribed him this pill for his heart, and I think it was called Vioxx. And then the day I was going to go to school, he tells me he takes the pill and puts it in his mouth, swallows it. And he's like, "Yuck, tastes nasty." And I was like, "Well, the doctor said that's supposed to be good for your heart, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "But still, I don't like it. It tastes nasty." And I was like, "Alright." Well, then I had to leave to school, so I got on my bike and I rode my bike to the school because I was when I first moved to Connecticut, from Connecticut to Florida. Um, I was living in Lakeland, and I used to go to Crystal Lake Middle School, and we lived not far enough for me to get on a bus, so I used to have to ride my bike to school. So I rode my bike to school that day, like any other day, and then later on that day, I think it was on my last period before I was supposed to go home, my teacher tells me I had to go to the office. So I go to the office, and then my next door neighbor, Mr. Leonard, he gets me out of school, and then he goes to my sister's school because she was in elementary school, and he gets her out of school. And then we go to the hospital here in Lakeland Regional, and then I get a phone call. I had to talk on the phone that they gave me the phone to talk to my mother, telling me that my father died. He had a heart attack and died, and he died at the gym that he was going to. And I believe in my heart that he died from that pill, the Vioxx pill that he had to take from the doctor that prescribed him. Now, there's no evidence of it exactly because my mother never got an autopsy report. But I honestly believe he died from that pill because he didn't have any heart attacks like on a regular basis. He had maybe 2 or 3 since I was really young, but nothing that would make him die from it. But either way, he died when I was 13 years old, and it messed me and my sisters up. Basically, I have 3 sisters, so there's 2 half sisters from another mother, and my younger full sister, I'm 3 years older than her. So she's from my mother and my father. And since my father passed away, I miss him so much because I have nobody I can talk to that can really help guide me through all these issues that I have. And I got married after I got out of the rehab place or the hospital back home because my girlfriend at the time asked me if I still wanted to get married, and at the time I wasn't even really aware of what was really happening because I had just got out of a coma and just got home, started to remember some things, but I didn't remember everything that I was dealing with in my life. All I know is that for many years I knew that my dad never married my mother. It wasn't like he didn't love her or anything, it's just they never got into getting married. And I was never really interested in getting married because my father and my mother never got married, and they were happy with each other. It was like they were married. But either way, I was never really interested in marrying anybody. But when she asked me if I was wanting to get married, and I believe she had even said that if I did get married, that she was going to help me get back home. So I said yeah. Like, I knew her for years. She is the mother of my first son, my firstborn kid. So we got married, and then things just started going downhill from there. Like, we would have conversations about things. We said things both to each other that was something that we should have never had said to each other. So, one of the things she was telling me was that really made me upset, that really brought a lot of this anger up out of me. She told me that she was happy that I was in a coma because nobody was trying to sleep with her or have sex with her. And then, so she was basically trying to say that I was a sexual predator, even though I've never forced myself on her for sex or anything like that. But either way, with that anger from her saying those things to me, I would remember talking about this girl that I used to see, that I was hoping that me and her were going to be able to work things out instead of me and my son's mother. Her name was Leslie Connor at the time. Me and her were together for about maybe 2 years or so, and I did want to get married to her because I really felt like she could have been the person that was going to make me the happiest in my life. But she just couldn't stand the fact that Ashley was basically still in my life, or my son's mother was still in my life. So she basically dumped me and got married to some other guy. I call him Mr. Black because his last name, I believe, is Black. And he got married to Leslie, and they had a kid together, and she loved me so much that she named her son Gunnar Lee Black because her father's last name was Black. So she said that one day she came up to my job. She came a few times just to talk to me. So one day she was talking to me. I decided to go ahead and talk to her, even though I was still upset with how she acted and left me and got married to somebody else. But she told me the reason why she named her name after me is because she loved me so much. She said that her parents even said, "Why are you naming him Lee?" And she was like, "Because I love Lee," is what she told me. But I tried to talk to her still, after that conversation we had about her son. She was telling me that her son's father was a meth addict and that he was doing drugs and that she didn't want to be with him no more and that they were getting a divorce and everything. So I was trying to talk to her to see if we can rekindle our relationship, but she again stopped answering any of my text messages and didn't call me or anything. So I guess she just had given up on me because she found out, because I talked to her one day about me having my daughter, and that was from a different mother. She got upset about that because she wanted to have my next born kid. But when she found out it wasn't gonna be from her, even though she had kept trying to have me get her pregnant, and she really wanted me to be the father of her firstborn. But I kept telling her that I didn't want to have another kid, and well, I wasn't saying that never again ever. It's just at the time my son was only 3, and I wasn't really trying to have another kid at the very moment. But either way, she got upset about me having a daughter from another mother, not from my son's mother. And then, well, this video is about to cut out. I will talk more, I guess, in the next part 2, because this is going to be an OVA because, like I mentioned, the reason why I'm calling it an OVA episode is because in anime, they have 12 episodes and they have a few extra episodes, which are like special edition episodes. And this is basically like a special edition episode. So this will be OVA part 1. And then we'll get into OVA part 2, and I'll explain more about my past a little bit with Leslie and the issues, and about me wanting to kill myself. And I'm just tired, you guys. I'll talk more in the next episode. See you. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.